Hi, I'm Zehra Unawala, founder of Union Job Open Services and Fleur of Luxury and Education Counselist. Today I have Dr. Priya Menon Nair on my podcast series for the process of admissions at MET Institute of Mass Media. And today I'm going to talk to her about admission process and why MET Mass Media is different than other courses.
Thank you so much, Zara. It's wonderful to have this discussion with you. Yes, this question is very apt because we are in the field of mass communication and media management, and look at the kind of courses the students have. Today I really feel that students have so many courses to choose from. It's really very confusing for them, and they do not know which one is it. Ideally for them, what is their calling, what is their purpose?
Yes.
Absolutely no
Yes.
idea because there's so much for them, right?
Yes.
I mean, when we were studying, we only had 2 or 3 options,
Yes.
and today the students are flooded with opportunities. Great. So in terms of MET Institute of Mass Media, we have a legacy, more than 30 years, 3 decades, and 3 decades of shaping the careers of the youngsters of this country. And very proud to say that a large number of media professionals today are MET students. And I'd like to also say that how we shape the students and the education that they receive at our institution is how they in turn shape the society.
Correct.
And therefore it's a huge job of responsibility for us at our end to nurture them and to teach them the right things and to handhold them in the right way, because we hold that position of shaping the mindset of people.
Correct.
That's what media does.
Yes.
Now at the Institute of Mass Media, we've got 6 specializations. We've got advertising and PR.
Right.
We've got next gen digital marketing.
Okay.
We've got journalism and content creation. We've got events and entertainment. We've got cinematic storytelling and creative and emerging tech. Now, all of these look and sound very interesting.
Yes.
But what we've done at our end is it's a course completely practical in its nature. I'd like to call it like a school of hard knocks, because as soon as a student is a part of this course, we make sure that they have a completely different experience. This experience cannot be just classroom led. So we've got faculty who are industry professionals. I do not have a single faculty who comes with only classroom knowledge. I've got people from the industry because of the fact that they need to be relevant. Otherwise, when they step out of this place and they're joining the media world, what they've studied becomes redundant.
Correct.
Just so that it is very relevant. So people who are currently in the media industry are the people who are teaching them across all the specializations. That's the number one. Number two thing is we've got our own in-house campus agency. It's called as MET Media Collective. Okay. It's India's first campus agency within an institution like this. One option is where the student goes out, steps out, and works somewhere. But you look at where it's placed. They spend half the day traveling. By the time they reach there, the companies, and they start getting into the functioning of the company. They've got to come back into the classes. So those 2 months, 3 months internships do not make any sense to us. Correct. So what we do is right from day one, they are going to be a part of the MET Media Collective. They work on clients. They understand the problems of the clients. They break the briefs across all the specializations, and they have the support of their mentors. These are all industry mentors who work with them, who teach them, who handhold them, who guide them, who coach them, and that's how they solve the clients' requirements. So this gives them an experience that they need. They get the degree, of course. Another thing is the life lessons. We are very, very, for us, it's very important that our students understand value, and life lessons are very, very important. I see a lot of resumes which all look alike. Everybody says great communication skills, fantastic leadership skills, great negotiation skills. When have you negotiated? When did you showcase your excellent leadership skills? At what areas did your communication skills help a certain client? They do not have any responses. They randomly think because I can speak good English, I'm a good oral communicator. Yeah. Just because I did 2 of my events, I'm great at leadership. Correct. Leadership happens when you've understood the problems, when you know to solve conflicts, when you can help the weakest link in the team to perform better, decision making, strategic thinking, critical thinking, all of these things, as a part of leadership. So we give them opportunities like these to display their skills, so that they understand that when they're writing these things in the resume, it actually makes sense now, and it's true to what they're writing. This is the third aspect of it, the life lessons. Life projects, comes with the MET Collective anyway, and they're working on the life projects on regular basis. We've got our own flagship events that they're a part of. Now, when it comes to our flagship event, that's the most beautiful thing I talk about, because most places that the students study, they're asked to go out and get a sponsorship amount, and based on that sponsorship amount, a certain
Right.
event is executed.
Yes.
At our end, what we do is we get the students to make a pitch and tell us what is the amount, or what is the budget for the entire event. So last year, my students had a budget of 9 lakhs. Now, when students are assigned a certain budget, there comes ownership, responsibility, accountability, responsibility to ensure that they meet the requirement. They have to get sponsorships, no doubt about it. They have to do their marketing, they have to do their sales, they have to take care of advertising. But if you look at all my specializations, I've got students for each specialization that they take care of it, and they're a part of the metamorphosis. Last year, my students made a it was very unique an event because they had made a trophy of 9.5 feet height, and they got their record in India Book of Records and Global Book of Records, and had some fantastic people who had come over for the event, and we had 41 colleges participating. Beautifully executed event. Now, what did the students learn from that event management experience? Not just planning, not just budgeting, but discipline of money. And where can you be frugal? How can you save money? What is the importance of decision making? What are the things where they had planned a couple of things and Murphy of course strikes when you least expect it? How do you navigate and maneuver through all of these challenges? That's a true learning. So so all of these kind of events that actually help the students to grow, to learn, to absorb, which is very, very important. So all of these 18 months, the short course, 18 months program, I actually even say that there are people in India, it's not there, but most countries abroad, they've got a concept of gap year. Why is a gap year important? Gap year is important because in our country, as soon as you complete graduation, they immediately want to go in for masters. They have no idea whether that is a specialization they want to be a part of. Why do you ask any youngster, why do you want to be a part of masters? Why do you want to take up masters? They'll perhaps not even know the difference between an MMS, MBA, or PGDBM. They would not know any difference. They would say, "Bas masters karna hai." Why? My friend is doing it. My uncle said it. My auntie said it. My neighbor said it.
Yeah.
But what is a master's? Why are you looking at specialization? What is the right age for specialization? As soon as you complete your graduation, give yourself some time. Take that gap year. Work somewhere. Get that experience. Now, a course like this is ideally to be like a gap year course also. It's just an 18 months program, but you have a different perspective into the world. You have a different perspective into the industry. You're immersing yourself in practical experiences. You're working with industry mentors. Plus, you get placed at places which is relevant, which pays you really well. And then you spend additional 1 or 2 years. Once you spend time there after you complete your course here, and you spend that time, is when you realize, hey, I think I made a mistake. I think this is the field I don't want to be a part of. Or they'll say, I love this field. And perhaps if I don't love this field, I do not like this field, what is the specialization I should take up? That is the time when they should look at a master specialization. So this gap year is very, very critical for students to understand what is the right field they should get into. So the first thing is, this is a course which serves as a gap year for students. Take that 18 months off, travel, see the world, talk to people, meet customers. We've stopped talking to people. You look at people when they're traveling by train, buses, they're only scrolling information. How many times have they stopped by and spoken to a person? There are no real conversations. So how will they get insights? How will they know their consumers? They will not know about it at all. So when they come to a course like this, what I get them to do is unlearn first. So unlearning is the most important thing. So once they unlearn a lot of things and they have the idea to understand that now I'm going to relearn everything in a different way, because time changes quickly. And by the time they're out, perhaps something new has come out. So how will they still continue to stay relevant is because of our evolving curriculum. Why I call it an evolving curriculum? I have a course curriculum for 18 months, which is right now I can share it with you. But at our, while you're on your second semester, there's something new that's come up. Why should you still continue to learn what is redundant? Take up something that is relevant. So that is then included as a part of the program. So that by the time you complete the course, you're still learning what is relevant. That is why this program is very unique. We've got something called as brand custodian and internships, both we do together. Internships to me are not just internships where you go and you work in a company. And ideally, the students think that they're working a lot in internships. That doesn't happen. Internships is merely workspace exposure. They understand the place, they understand roles, they understand people, they understand the culture of the organization. That's about it. Nobody is going to give them any job of responsibility or ownership. And it's not right, because they're only going to be there for 2 months. So who's going to give them a job of responsibility? Startups, they prefer interns because they just need an extra hand. So that's the only way that they're going to look at interns. When is it that an intern has been given a good responsibility and said, you are accountable for this, you take care of this? So it is up to us, education institutions, to talk to companies and tell them the kind of requirement we have for those 2 months, 3 months, on what the student is expected
Correct.
to learn.
Yeah.
For me, an
Absolutely.
internship is about an impact.
Okay.
If the student has learned or has gotten, say, about 30,000 as an internship stipend over a period of 3 months, he should be back into the campus saying, I've made an impact worth 3 lakhs. Then it makes sense to me. And for that, we need the right mentors to guide. And that mentoring doesn't end only till the your class timings. It has to continue during the internship, after the internship, and that hand holding has to be there throughout.
Yes.
That is why MET Institute of Mass Media is very different as compared to every other college.
Correct. So my next question is, because I got to know before when we met that it is also AI integrated. What's different in that?
So every single course today in our country has AI integration.
Yes.
So there's nothing new. We also have got AI integration. But what is different is uh, every single thing that they learn in the classroom by way of application, they learn it through AI.
Okay.
And there are projects associated with real clients that they show us the outcome of the AI tool that they have used.
Correct.
So we cannot have them left behind just because they think, I mean, I'm going to original thinking and all that, but AI I'm not going to use. Today, everybody will need to know how to use an AI.
Yes.
And because they need to know how to use an AI, the best thing is outcome oriented. Everything that we do at our end is outcome oriented. For every single specialization, it's AI integrated.
Correct.
So if they're learning filmmaking the real way, they're learning filmmaking from an AI perspective also. If they're looking at AR and VR, you're looking at AI also. If you're looking at advertising and PR, you're looking at AI tools there also. So every single aspect of it, they learn in terms of AI.
Okay. Okay. So you're telling that the students will also be when they are entering the corporate, so they are very well prepared with everything in detail in subject of all these specializations plus AI, everything. They are up to date from the college, and then they are entering the industry.
No. Nobody can make them, I mean, what you're talking about is an absolute knowledge. There's no term like an absolute knowledge.
Correct.
Right? But what I can guarantee is my students will have the confidence, will have the ability to navigate through maneuver, through problems, through challenges. They're not people who are going to be, fearful of the fact that, hey, I do not know this. I'm overwhelmed. I do not know how to handle this situation. They'll have the ability and the confidence to deal with all of this. They will have right amount of knowledge because they know the practical application of it. They are job ready.
Correct.
Now, how the company shapes them based on that, the kind of mentors, I'm sure they will grow faster and better. But these are students definitely to look out for, because they do not fear challenges. They are the ones who will work more because they love it, not because they're forced to work or there is an incentive to work. They're passionate about work. There's a joy of learning and there's joy of working. They want to bring about a change. They want to make an impact. They're not people who are mediocre at all. They're people who are hardworking, who are diligent, and who understand the importance of giving back. Correct. So, when you have these kind of qualities and you nurture them, you put them in any situation and they lock it.
Correct. Absolutely right. There's one more question which was going in my head when you were talking about this. So, students mostly they are also looking at getting good placements, and for that they also require good interview preparation. So that facility is also provided in MET.
Everything. Um, See, when you're talking about interview preparation skills, a 1 day of interviewing skills program is not going to
Correct.
train them to clear an interview.
Yes.
It is a everyday process.
Correct.
Every single day, right from the moment they step into the campus till the time they step out of the campus, it's interviewing skills preparation.
Correct.
It's preparation into the outside world. What you're talking about is college comfort to corporate reality.
Yes.
That is all that this is. So when you have practical application, when they go for an interview, what are the areas that they're not able to handle a particular question, is when they lack experience.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. So when you look at a resume, everybody's resume looks alike.
Yes.
So when you say, hey, give me one situation when you have negotiated a particular bit, you ask them a question, they've written negotiation skills, and they'll not know. It will not be relevant to their work.
Yes.
But when they are put in those situations where they've handled things on their own, they'll be able to tell you that this is what I had done, and this is where I'd met up with the client. I had gone there and I negotiated this deal, and I'm very proud of myself because my boss told me that you did a fantastic job, And this was the first time I read about the company, I researched about the company, I was able to put together these facts about the company, and I was able to execute this. When they have that confidence, through execution is when they'll be able to answer these questions.
Correct.
So it's not just interviewing skills, it's the training throughout from beginning to the end.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, in terms of placements. Now, I have a major problem with parents of our country, and I'm glad that we're doing this in the podcast.
Yes.
We in India mollycoddle our children.
Yes.
When they are small and growing up, you have the maids, you've got the house help.
Yes.
They do not want to pick up a bottle of water themselves, and they have people to support them for every single thing.
Yes.
They are entitled kids, not because they want to be, but because they have grown up in that kind of an atmosphere.
Yes, obviously.
So when they come to a college, they are looking at a transactional approach. I've paid the fees, I need this.
Yes.
And which to me is not right, because
Yes.
an institution is what shapes you, your character, your personality, your whole life.
Yeah.
So this institution is a very sacred place. When you're coming to an institution and when you're talking about placements, first understand, as a student, what are you willing to bring to the table? You're willing to bring to the table enthusiasm. You're willing to bring to the table hard work. You're willing to bring to the table rejections, failures that you will face, resilience,
Correct.
critical thinking, like I
Yes.
said, working in teams, work with people you do not like to work with.
Correct.
So here there is a rule. When we have assignments, we actually pair up people with the ones they're not comfortable with. Most of the time they want to work around with their friends, and obviously they'll give a fantastic group work, because
Yes.
working with your friends, there's camaraderie and all that.
Yes.
Right? But when you work with people you are not comfortable with, or who you do not consider as your best pals, that is the right way of working, because you will have conflicts, you will have fights, you'll have disagreements. And when you face that, you understand that when you join a company, you cannot choose your boss, you cannot choose your subordinates, you cannot choose your team members. You learn to work
Correct.
with all of them, and
Yes.
that collaboration is very, very important.
Yes.
Now when it comes to placements, I tell the parents this, and I very clearly tell them, if by spending 18 months, and they've spent clearly about 20 years in the Indian education system, studying and mugging up and vomiting it in papers and all that, but when it comes to real life, if the parents say my placement is in your hands, then one, the education institution has not done their job well. Number two, the parents have also not done their job well. One, because parents don't let their child or children fail.
Yeah.
Number two, the institutions are hand-holding them in every step of the way. We do not even give them time to think. Everything is prepared and handed over to them, and they can just read it, they can rote learn, and they write.
Yeah.
When it comes to placements, tell me, is it not possible for them to pick up a phone, write an email, and write it to a CEO of a company, write it to the HR people of the company? Can they not do it?
They can do it.
They can do it, right? They have the education, they have the communication skills they're talking about, they can negotiate their own salary, they can work in teams, they can, so many different ways they can showcase their skills.
Correct.
But they are dependent on a placement team who would barely know the students. Now look at the placement team. It would be a team of about 5 or 6 people, and they're all working really, really hard. It's not easy. Every institution, I'm not just talking about MET, I'm talking about every institution, and they bring in 300, 400 companies onto the table. Now students feel, I'm too big for the company, I don't
Correct.
think I need that salary. But what are you bringing to the table? You cannot even pick up the phone and speak with a company, and you're
Yes.
saying that, I don't want this job. Try. First, you make an effort at your end. I feel an education system should be able to teach the kids to take up and to look out for jobs independently themselves. Because a placement team or a placement coordinator would not know more about you than you yourself. I know the skills that I am good at. Why would I let a placement coordinator decide on 5 different places that I'd want to go to? Of course, if I don't end up getting a job, of course, we've got placement team. But along with it, I've got to work on all of those things.
Yes.
Then it's the right thing. Secondly, even if your placement is done, 2 years down the line, you're not happy in that company, you want to shift. Are you going to come back again to the placement coordinator? Is your mom and dad, are they going to help you? You've got to look for it yourself, right? When will that training happen? This is the time this should happen.
Yes.
So parents, stop mollycoddling your children. Let them fail. Let them really have experiences of all the sorts. It's very, very important for them. Education institutions also, I think, as a rule, we must really get the students to really work hard on their own placements first. And all this placement support that happens is when the students don't make any proactive efforts from their end. Let them make the proactive efforts, you'll see the change. So it's equally a good collaboration between parents, students, and the institution together.
Correct. So
And having said that, Having said that, all my kids have been placed at some of the top companies. They're doing really, really well. All of my students are interning with some of the finest companies, and the best placements have come out when the students have gone out and have got themselves placed. And that's the test of the real education system.
Correct. So we had Dr. Priya Menon Nair on our podcast, and she has shared an amazing overview of the entire institution, the education pattern, and everything what is in MET and why MET is different. So looking forward to all the students come and join this program and uh, believe in the institution, and you'll get a live experience about mass media and mass communication through this entire 18 months of program.
I'd also like to add, it's not easy to get inside the program. It's very difficult. We make it not very easy because we're literally handpicking students this year. And when we look at the students, we're looking at students who have the ability to think differently, who have the ability to think outside the box. Like I said, they are fearless when it comes to exposure, when it comes to the kind of things we want them to experiment. So if you have it in you, if you're willing to experiment, if you're willing to make mistakes, if you're willing to do all of that while you're a part of the program, not after you leave the program, then this is a place for you. Come, given your test, we've got a very beautiful test which checks on your imagination and your thinking process, which is the first step, and a good interview process, post which we decide if the student is a fit at our end. And if they are, then we welcome you to a fabulous, life-changing program at MET Institute of Mass Media.
Thank you, ma'am, so much for this amazing podcast.
Thank you so much, Zehra. It was wonderful speaking with you.